Hey everybody, it's Justin, your guide into the other side. I want to get started by creating this environment tier list. So this is just an aesthetics tier list only, not related to resources or gameplay or playstyle or stuff like that. So this is just, uh, a tier list of how I think each of these environment looks. So let's just jump right in. We'll get started with the perfect tier. Perfect tier is stuff that I would pick up immediately. This is the bar none elite special like aesthetic that I covet over everything else. And if I have one or if I can't get it, then I'm going to move on to the excellent tier. So this is something that I would consider like right up there, probably super desirable. We can move on to B tier, which is great. This is like, really unique. Got that flavor. It's above that, standard bar none good C tier. So, this is just a desire chart essentially for me. And then, that kind of defines the last layer. Okay, they're still cool in their own right, D tier, but it's not something that I would like actively seek out. So just keep that in mind. It's all very subjective. So if we start out, I'm just gonna put that standard bog swamp environment. It's formerly known as the bog environment. We know what we're getting. This is what the Board Ape Yacht Club is on top of. We've seen a lot of the bog environment. You got the swamp, you got the trees. It's pretty standard. So it's a good relative basis. It's still good. It's one of the better good ones, so I'm just gonna keep it there just as a good reference, so everybody kind of knows where we stand. If we move on to our first S tier environment, acid, definitely one of the more coveted lands among the coveted environments among Otherdeeds, right? It's just up there. It's like amazing. Like I know a lot of people would put it in S tier, even A tier. But I think it definitely belongs up there. If we move on to Biolume, I would put this in strong, excellent tier. This is it carries a really nice aesthetic. It's got that, coral, very Finding Nemo aesthetic to it. That's definitely alluring. I really like the waterfall and the glowing aesthetic that it has. Really nice, excellent A tier environment. If you move on to the bone environment, I'd actually put this a great. It carries that Lion King-esque, scene where, we know what that scene is. But anyways, yeah, I would place this bone environment at B tier. We also saw in the second trip, I think. So yeah, pretty good. Botanical, also a great. I put this at B tier. It looks really great. It's got that cotton candy theme. Color scheme. It really kind of reminds me of like I would say Sandy's house from SpongeBob. I know some of the other I think the tier 4 convey that that underwater bubble more. But yeah, I would put this at B. Chaos. This is at S, but it's very unattainable, so I'm just gonna stick it where it belongs, S tier. But yeah, we're gonna kind of ignore this. Crimson, very good. It's definitely got that nice red alien, structure here. But yeah, I would say it's pretty good. Crystal, I don't think it has to be even explained, but I'm gonna do it anyways. S tier, definitely one of the most coveted lands of environments of all of Otherside. Because who knows what crystal environments will look like when the game comes out, and I think a lot of people think it's going to look really good, myself included. So definitely my number one to pick up. Spoilers. But if we move on to Glacia, I would say it's around the same. It's good too. It's got that really nice Arctic look, spiky ice and very blue. Pretty good. This jungle biome is quite nice. I think it's in the same. I think it's a little bit more exotic, especially with that jungle rainforest feel. I would place it above bone and below botanical. But yeah, it's great. The next S tier that we're coming across is Luster. Based off what we saw in the private showing and the concept art from the LA event that we saw a couple days ago, This is a really beautiful environment, and I think it definitely has its place among the S tier. It's just it's got those like alien superstructure, megalithic feel to it that really just has it up there. I really think a lot of people like enjoy this at S tier. And then I would say this volcano land here. It's formerly known as molten environment. That's pretty good. I like that a lot. I'd probably take a molten volcano with a castle over, say, Crimson. So we move on to the mycelium environment. This is definitely an excellent tier. I would even put it above Violoom. That's like the Mushroom Kingdom, essentially. That's really, really cool. Definitely unique and excellent tier. The Mystic Land. I would say this is around the same environment aesthetic as, like, say, Jungle. A little bit better because it's a little bit more fantasy. It's very purple. I don't necessarily know the details around this one, but it looks it's great. It's great. Solid, great contender. So if we move on to the Obsidian Land, initially I thought it looked very Halloweeny. I would have placed it in good, maybe before the event where we saw the concept art. But after I saw what they were going with aesthetically, it looked like the lava in it looks so forge, and super heavy duty. I like that a lot. So I'm gonna put that at great. It looks great. The aesthetic art looked great, and I think that's something worth taking a look. Definitely has that nice feel with the spires and that contrast. So I like that a lot. The Plague Land, the Plague environment, I would say that's I would say it's good. I would say it's like I'd probably take a Plague Land over, say, actually no, I'd probably put it below like a volcanic castle. And then we kind of come to our first D tier, in my opinion. Like, okay, I wouldn't necessarily seek this one out, but I think it's still cool. The ruins here. Obviously, all these things are subject to change as we get more aesthetic and art out of Otherside and Yuga as time goes on, as we get deeper into the game. But I'm not too. Yeah, I would just put that I would put ruin environment at okay. Sands. I'm gonna put this at excellent tier. This is one of my favorite environment tiers. Definitely I would probably pick this over Mycelium, just because I mean that's like an island. I mean that's a big shell like structure. I'm not even gonna explain that. That belongs there. Shadow. Okay, I would say it's good. I would probably take it at the same level as like a volcanic castle. I think it looks pretty good. Maybe I'll put it here. Sky. Oh my god, this one's up here. Like, I know I really like the sand environment here, but after what I saw in the private event, I wasn't there. I'm just saying the whatchamacallit, the concept art that we saw related to Sky was very compelling, especially with the pink trees and the way that everything kind of floats on each other. Like, that's super, super aesthetic. Definitely top tier, excellent A tier. Again, I'm not too much of a fan of the sludge lands or the very goopy lands, so I'll say that the sludge environment is okay. Spires, this spire land is really cool. I like this a lot. I would probably take it. I like the lands that have like elevation and stuff like that. So I like the spire one. It looks very mountainous. I guess I don't know what this reminds me of, but it reminds me of specific fantasy. I don't know. I can't remember it. Anyways, moving on to the. Gosh, I can't remember this one for the life of me, but this one is here for sure. Splinter. Oh, it's Splinter. It's Splinter environment. Yeah, I would say this is very similar to like Glacia and Crimson, but I don't know necessarily what environment. I feel like it's kind of dryish. Anyways, I would place it aesthetically like around here. The steps environment. I like this a lot. I like the simplicity. I like the elevation. It's very clean. Definitely unique. Great. Um, Sulfuric environment, I would say I like it, but it's okay. I wouldn't necessarily seek it out. I think it's probably one of the better okay tiers. And then this spike wood. This one is pretty unique. I would put it at either great or high good. I'll just stick it at great. You know, it's got like a nice aesthetic. You know, it got this yellow sphere in the center. But otherwise, if we move on to the Velden environment, this one is really cool. I think it's great as well. I think it's probably one of the better better B tiers. I'm torn between like whether it's better than Botanical or not. I mean, it really is like a Pokemon Center land. I mean, you can't convince me otherwise. It looks like Pokemon. But yeah, I would say these two are about equal, so I'll keep it there. And then Waste. Ah, man, I don't know. I mean, I like it actually. I mean, it reminds me of. It kind of reminds me of. I wouldn't. I'd probably take it over Crimson, but I probably would like Plague more. It kind of reminds me of Spiders for some reason. I don't know why. But yeah, it looks pretty cool. And then Marshmallow. Sorry, but I mean, I like it better than the Sludge, but I mean, like that red goopy lava stuff in the center, that's pretty cool too. So, just to recap, at S tier, we definitely have the Crystal, Luster, and Acid. Definitely my top tier picks if I were to have to choose an aesthetic. And then next we have our excellent tier. Sky is definitely like my number one, closely followed by like the Sand environment, Mycelium, and Biolume. The great tier is just kind of like upper great tiers like Botanical and Belden, and then we have these two pair. We have this Mystic and Jungle pair here. I would say, and then the lower great tiers is like these four back here, and I would say the standard is just that standard bog, and then the rest here, so on and so forth. So again, that's just kind of my ranking tier list of aesthetic lands. Feel free to disagree, in the comments below. I'll try to link this tier list as well, so you can create your own. But again, like and subscribe if you found anything interesting or insightful in this video. I'm always happy to go over things in Otherside. It's always a fun time. But yeah, you can always find me in the Discords. I'm always in the official Otherside Discord as well as the Wiki Discord as well. I got all these images from the Wiki. It was easy to get high resolution images. But anyways, that's besides the point. Yeah, I think that's about it. But yeah, I'll sign off. I'll see you next time. Peace.